All my right thinkers, thank you for tuning to your boy, Pfunk Thinking Right, at my YouTube classroom where I do what I do for you. Today, writism 25 rules to live by, storytelling, story with a message in the story. Again, we're gonna go that route. We're gonna do something a little different. I'm thinking about going off script. I don't like to do that, so I'm not. All right, put it that way. Every time before I get on, I think, do you just go out there and just wing it? I don't like doing that. That way it don't serve a purpose for me or you. So I'm going to go into what I call tradition of initiation. As a right thinker, symbolically, you're initiating yourself into the order of right thinking. Me being the master, giving instructions, you part of what they call an occult. Don't freak out. You ain't initiated, didn't anybody hold you to no secret oaths and all that nonsense. But symbolically, this is what you're doing. But if you're gonna follow my concepts, you need to understand being dedicated to do what you need to do is always for you. You the one that benefit. That's the whole key to right living. My whole concept is you can think, you can want whatever you want, but if you don't put the work in, you can get nothing out. Okay? Understand that. So the onus is always on you to do what you need to do. I'm just trying to give you the venue and the avenue to make it happen for you. It happened for me. I'm just trying to relate it so it can happen for you. All right? Check this out. Traditions of initiation. That means you're about to join something. You're about to become part of something. I'm a master mason, so trust me, I understand. My family, all of my family members involved in a secret order or an occult order, be it the Elks, Order of Eastern Star, what have you. But we're always inspiring to do good work and do good things. So let's go out for right on. I did the same thing as a Mason. Here you go. What I'm saying is, if you're seriously interested in pursuing the spiritual life, aka right thoughts philosophy, okay, there's a few things you have to be ready to do. First of all, follow my instructions. I'm not egotistical, but I'm straightforward. I'm gonna give you what I need, what you need, and it's up to you to get it done. I don't do the favoritism. I don't do the nope, none of that. I'm straight with everybody, fair across the board. Okay, all right. Follow my instructions to the letter in order for right thoughts philosophy to work for you. If I say do X, you do X. If I say don't do Y, you don't do Y. That's following instructions. That's all it is. The reason and the purpose, we don't need to get into that. When somebody say do, that's what you do. After you do it, then you can ask, why do you have me do that? And I will explain and break it down to you. I will never have you do something out of reason and purpose. That's all understandable. So all this questioning, I get annoyed with that. It's okay, so understand that. I'm giving you instructions. I'm giving you things that you can do for yourself. How well you do it, how quick you learn it, totally up to you. That's my point. Here we go. In order for it to work for you in reaching your goals of obtaining spiritual knowledge, these are the things you have to do. As a right thinker, you're seeking to purify yourself and become an enlightened being, which we were all born to become enlightened beings. But in this world, to become spiritually awoken, there's a practice that you have to adhere or follow. Ancient times, it was Maya, she taught Netta, all these concepts. I'm just calling it right thinking, right thoughts, philosophy, because why? It's mine. I'm the one running it, so to speak. So, all right, I've mastered the concept. Now I'm just putting my spin on it, put my name to it. I'm not changing the rules and the views of what we do. Trust me, it's still the same thing. Old concepts, I just modernized it. I love that idea. All right. By practicing right thoughts philosophy, this will happen in time for all who practice my concepts correctly. With fervency and zeal, enthusiasm, when something that you aspire to do, you give it your best shot. That's all I ask. I'm going to give you what you give me. That's fair, always. Okay? All right thinkers, you have to clearly understand the tenets of right thought philosophy, or it won't work effectively for you. I mean, it won't work. If you give me part-time, you give me a little bit, you give me some time, that's what you're going to get in return. So you can end up to me. Nature, God, cosmic forces, they're at work. Once you begin to understand metaphorically and conceptually, you'll understand, like I did. If I do this, I get that? Yeah. Man don't control that. Okay, if you can metaphorically, conceptually follow my concepts and views, you're going to be fine. Why? Because it's going to make sense to you. But what's going to even be better when you do it and you got getting paid? I love my job, okay? A job is when you put forth effort and energy and you get something in return, like a paycheck. When you're doing work for the Lord or you're doing spiritual work, okay, let's call it spiritual, because people get offended. Well, you're talking about God. I'm a God-fearing man. I just don't put him in the forefront because people get, hearing God. Some people, if you ain't religious, you tend to, so I keep it spiritual because God is really a spirit. So spiritual knowledge is learning about God. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. That's my job. Okay. But the whole concept is when you do the right thing from here and here, the payback is in abundance, a lot. That's another word I learned after becoming spiritual. All right, watch this. You see because you have what we call psychic powers. We all have conscious understanding, whether we know how to use it or not. Our brain does one thing: calculate, function, and rationale. Once you get to know how to use it, it's like a tool. You got to practice it, see how it works, and see what it can and can't do. And yeah, your brain is the same way. Work with it. Use your head for something other than the hat rack. That means something inside here that you need to be using that will help you out. Thinking and your thoughts are the two powerful things that you do. The same thinking and thought I'm telling you about, some people call it faith and belief. You are what you believe you are. As you think it, so you are. Okay. Philosophically, you can play that game back and forth, but it don't mean nothing until you employ it, until you use it, and then you can see what it means actually when you do it. That's the benefit I got with right thinking. I can guarantee you, if you employ these concepts and these views, you can't lose. All right, I don't gamble. I know. I'm giving you a sure thing. All right, that's just my thing. Check it out. Now, because you got psychic powers, that doesn't necessarily mean you're spiritually enlightened. Okay, don't get it twisted. They are not the same. The two things are different. Oh, I'm psychic. Okay, man, that ain't gonna do with you being spiritual. So understand that. That's my view, my concept. Because spiritual enlightenment is nothing less than a mystic union with God. It's a mental thing. Consciousness, conscious, thinking, thought, that's all mental. The heart is the birthplace of truth. If you're sincere about what you're doing, that's what I'm saying. You can be as me and the baker, you can get a bun. You can be as yourself, you get none. That's the last thing you want to do is think you can fake yourself out or hide, because my man is somebody watching. Thought is the one that keeps track, and he's there all the time. Everything you do, he's just there. Every time you see him, he's keeping track. But he's your memory bank. He's your conscience. So you can't. I digress. I'm gonna get back to y'all. I get started. Yeah. All right, where we at now? Okay. Yeah. Having psychic powers have nothing to do with being spiritual enlightened. Again, that ain't got nothing to do. Psychic powers gives you the ability to do some physically amazing things, such as not eating for long periods of time, fasting. They got my man Gandhi over there in there. He don't eat and his stomach all. Okay, these are things you can do psychically. They ain't gonna do with spiritual enlightenment. No, they ain't gonna do that. Okay, hold your breath long periods of time. All this nonsense, crazy stuff, contorting the body, but that's none of that had to do anything with spiritual enlightenment. All right, none of these things have anything to do with spiritual knowledge. So, as initiate into right thoughts philosophy, you have to strive to purify what? Your heart. Yes, your heart and mind. That's the spiritual connection that you want. When you're conscious and you're understanding and you're pure from the heart, that's why you get rid of all those illusions and misconceptions in your mind to what spiritual knowledge really is. I'll show you firsthand. Here is the difference between what I call ignorance and worldly mind. A person, he's ignorant, he had qualities which is his discontent, he's always egotistical, his desires are for pleasures, okay, hard-heartedness, he's a distraction, and he's mentally agitated, restless, selflessness, all etc. I can go on, but these things lead to experiences of pain, disappointment, and frustrations in life that I call fetters. Some of us call it dumb stuff. I don't want to use the bad word, but yeah, that's what it really is. When you do something knowing that it's not going to work good for you, that's dumb. I'm sorry. Yeah, you need to get a better understanding of the things that you do for yourself. Whereas life, as a right thinker, these are things you work on, taking out of your life. Stop doing. Changing. Why? Because now you ain't got to pay the price for doing dumb stuff. When you bring fetters, you bring undue, unnecessary situations to yourself. Simple. Dumb stuff. Don't do it. If you understand, if then, and you do, if you do the right thing, dumb stuff ain't around. I call it drama. I don't do drama. Okay? You shouldn't either. Right thinkers, your goal is to get rid of the drama in your life. I'll be back.